Oh, hello, hello. Hey, we should practice that in tandem. That would be really funny. Gosh, and right as we said that, like something flew right into my eye,
Oh,
which is
no.
probably not a coincidence either. Ah, you guys, we should 100% record green room, like what happens in the green room before we go on, because it's always good and
For
juicy and
sure,
fun.
for
So,
sure.
um, my lovely guest, Julianne.
Hello.
Um, Happy Thanksgiving to all of my
Thank
Canadian
you.
friends and family out there. For the Americans and the others who are wondering why we have Thanksgiving on Monday instead of Thursday, like the Americans. I don't know, is the short answer. But
Well
usually, like, go, yeah, go jump in.
well, I forgot I'm sure I learned the history of it in school, but what it's turned into, it's almost like the last long weekend of the summer. So if the weather's good, people go and close up their cottages, go camping. And yeah, we still do like a turkey dinner, like everyone does a turkey dinner either Sunday night or Monday night, but
Yeah.
it's turned into like the last sort of summer long weekend.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
like, I was just gonna say for our family, it's like the whole weekend. They're scattered across Canada,
Yeah.
and they usually convene in Ottawa for our family. And now we have college kids that are coming home to Ottawa, which is kind of funny. And part of it is like the traffic, because ooh, Toronto traffic. But anyways, so yeah, it's one long celebration of the entire weekend. And
Yeah.
it's funny, like we do our big dinner on Saturday night. Sunday, they
Uh-huh.
didn't do anything this year, but Monday morning, everyone was there and we are doing our calls and stuff. So
Oh,
what could be
nice.
better than like an entire long weekend of celebrating family and summer and
Yeah. Yeah.
moving into fall and new seasons, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I really like it. It's like in Canada here, we have a long weekend every month. There's some sort of statutory holiday.
I know, that's great, right? We need to catch up to that in the States.
Yeah.
So right before we went on, I said something to Julianne like, I'm really this is going to be good. I can feel it. This is really going to be juicy. And what did you say about this morning?
Well, so when I woke up this morning, I saw your message about that song that was on your
Mm.
car when you started your car. And of course, that reminded me of, should I just tell the story? Because I guess maybe,
Yeah.
okay.
Yes.
So
Well,
that
tell them what
reminded
the song is. I don't have my phone. I'm looking
something
for my
about
phone, and guess what, you guys? It's like your glasses on your head. My phone is right in front of me, so I can't flip up
it's,
my
oh, hang on a
phone.
second. I'll look it up. Your song,
Everything she does is magic.
everything she does is magic, right?
Yeah, so this
And
morning I woke up at 5, by the way, and, I had a ride, so I get in and I'm thinking about today, and I can feel the things bubbling. They said like a witch's cauldron. Like like, the women that they used to burn at the stake, and because it's Halloween. And so I don't even have my phone on, and I'm walking to my car, and I get in my car, and my phone starts playing the song Every Little Thing She Does Is Magic, as I was thinking about our call today. And then finally the car kicked in, and I'm like, what is happening here? And it was almost like, oh, well, you were wondering how today's conversation was going to go, and they're like, every little thing is magic. So then I of course posted it, and you saw it, and then
yeah,
and so
so
pick up from there.
as soon as I woke up, and usually I don't look at messages as soon as I wake up. I wait till
Mm.
later. I wait till after my meditation, but I was inspired to look at this message. And then if I see a message, I don't reply right away because I got to do my meditation and everything. But I was inspired to reply right away that it reminded me of 3 years ago, my dad was transitioning. And the cool thing was, I'll tell a bit longer of the story, was I know that he had never wanted to, he said he never wanted to transition on his own. And there was one last day, we were all at the hospital, and it didn't look that great. He was probably going to go, but with the family, we still just went home. And I was on going to go to work that next morning, and I hadn't got a call yet, but there was something inside of me that said, go to the hospital because dad could,
Mm.
he's hasn't, he's still around. Just go first and then go to work. So I get to the hospital, and then within 10 minutes, I'm holding his hand or whatever, and I whisper to him, I say, "Dad, it's okay, you can go, we'll be fine, blah blah blah." And he transitioned, I felt that he stopped breathing, and that was such a cool experience for me because, first of all, I would have been the only family member who took it, like, who would have understood that this is a good thing. And I wasn't really that upset until my one of my sisters came, and then she was bawling, right? Which is fine.
Yeah.
But the coolest
Yeah.
thing is when I got to the car after leaving the hospital, is I turned my ignition on, and the Pharrell, the Happy song was on. And the Pharrell song's pretty old, right? You don't hear it a lot on the radio stations. And then I was just like, "Oh my God, that's from Dad, the Happy
Like,
song."
this is hysterical. I don't
Yes.
know why I'm crying right now, but this is
And
hysterical, and
then
only he would send us a
then
song
this
called Happy,
The second
right?
song was, The Weekend, "Save Your Tears for Another Day," blah, blah, blah. So if you listen to that song, and I just knew it was from him, and I was kind of excited. So before I started driving, I texted a couple of my Abraham friends, and guess what? My dad just
Oh,
transitioned. And, like,
yeah.
of course, they're the only people that understand. I didn't share that with my family, but I was really just like, I was so excited to get that message from him. So it was kind of like, yeah, yeah, just like, you were sending out this message today.
So it's interesting. Nothing's a coincidence, right? And by the
No.
way, we just dove right in because we're so excited and we had so much to say. And like they're telling me there's no reason for backstory and blah blah blah. And it's one of the reasons why I don't put a last name on for my guests in this episode 5, by the way. And so thank you. Thank you for being number 5. And thank you for saying yes. I really appreciate it. Julianne and I met through our WhatsApp group
Yeah.
right before we went on Canadian cruise this year,
Right.
2025.
Right.
And although you've been on how many cruises? A lot.
11
11.
of Abraham.
Lucky number 11. Now, because you're Canadian, do you skip 13 or you do it and you call it
No, no, are you
14?
kidding? Of course not. I'm not going to skip 13. No. In fact, okay, once I lived in Calgary, Alberta. Do you know what my address was?
13, 13.
13th Avenue Southwest. So
Say,
I wasn't on the 13th floor, but no, I
no.
don't believe in that.
By the way, for the those of you who don't know, in Canada, there's never a 13th floor,
That's right.
ever,
In all our buildings. Do you
ever.
guys have 13 floors in your buildings?
Yes.
No, in Canada it
Silly
goes 12,
Amer
14. Yeah, I don't know
I
why it's
know it's a
different here.
Canadian thing. My uncle worked for Otis Elevators.
Oh.
You never ordered a number 13 button.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I guess that's true. And I guess when I've been in the US and Europe, yeah, you do see 13. Yeah. Huh.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
That's kind of funny. So yeah, so we're both thinking obviously about our high vibe chat today and tuning in with our inner beings. And right as I get in the car, it was like everything she does is magic. Like we're and they had showed me this witch's cauldron. I can see like 3 witches standing around it doing the
Mhm.
stirring thing. Every little thing she does is magic. We're just stirring the pot. And
Yeah. Yeah.
so it's interesting too because you said that when as soon as your dad transitioned that you messaged some of your Abraham friends because
Yeah.
your family wouldn't understand it per se. And then I'm looking at at our WhatsApp feed here. Somebody posted this morning, and I want to make Evie posted this morning on
Uh-huh.
our general WhatsApp group. And she I don't always watch the YouTube videos, but for whatever reasons, forgive me, my camera's
Oh,
backwards. I'm not drunk, I promise. Oh, Julie, you wanna
yes.
cheers while we're at for
Cheers.
Canadian
Our fruit and
Thanksgiving?
our
Cheers.
water and our wine glasses.
Chin chin. Yeah. So I had the thought while I was getting ready, oh, I should get some water, actually like sparkling water, right? And I thought, oh, I should put it in my wine glass. And I thought, yeah, Carrie, do your podcast with your wine glass. And so I was getting ready. I said, oh, I should go get myself some water. In case I like say something stupid and choke or whatever. Julianne goes, "Oh, look what I put
I know,
my
I already
water
did it.
in."
And you know what the interesting thing is? For years, I would drink out of a wine glass or a martini glass my water and put fruit in it. And I haven't done that for quite a while. But this morning, I had an impulse, and there you go. And I
That's I mean, and it's funny too because when I posted, I said, let's specifically talk about Julie's hot seat moment from a cruise in 2024. But as the day is unfolding, like I woke up, you woke up, we're instantly pinging and we're moving and we're like, you guys, you can't make this shit up, right?
no, I
Like,
know.
why,
Like
like you said, these.
seriously, I have not drank in water out of that glass in probably well over a year or two. And then I got home from exercise. I'm getting ready for this podcast, and I thought, oh, got to have water. And I pulled out this glass.
And
It's
I
like,
thought I should get water and put it in my wine glass the way I like it.
yeah. And I've got
This
sparkling
is
water too. It's not regular water, it's sparkling water.
See, so Canadian of us, isn't it? I always tease my cousin because they like spritzers, right? They'll put like a sparkling something in their wine and then they put ice in. So
Oh, okay.
clearly, clearly it's Canadian, eh?
Well, I thought because you mentioned something about maybe last week about living like the Esther life. And then my question back in 2024 is, how does Esther stay so, besides being joyful, how does she stay so young? And she keeps looking more young. She keeps looking younger and more beautiful every time I see her. And then so I think because of that energy, that's why I thought, oh, well, I'm going to, Esther has these beautiful flowing scarves. So I put my scarf on,
Oh my
and
gosh.
then the glass, and then I pull out my beautiful teacup from
Yes,
Paris.
Patty. Oh, Patty. Oh, that is that is so cool.
Yeah,
So like I said, I do want to chat about your hot seat question and your take on it, and I think it will roll in. I'm going to jump back to Evie's post, the YouTube video.
sure.
Again, it's in the general section for those of you who want to go nab it, and I will grab the link later on and post it with
Should I
this if
look
you're
at it? I
watching.
didn't look at it yet.
No,
Oh, okay.
no, no. Are you kidding me? Look at here are my notes.
Oh,
Just so you guys know, I'm completely retarded when it comes to I'm the person sitting. Okay, it was just a 12-minute video in case you were wondering. You're like, "Should I look at it?" Oh my gosh. Oh, man. Okay, but the summary of it is exactly what you and I are talking about, which is
yeah.
never a coincidence, right? Like we
No, no.
wake up and we're immediately playing with our inner beings,
Yeah.
even if the inspiration is go sit in meditation, right? But we're immediately receiving, right? Go get a
Yes.
drink of water, go brush your teeth, go do meditation, go, whatever. And it's really good, and I'll nab the link and put it here later, but it basically points back to gosh, this is so simple, but yet we make it so complicated. Like you had mentioned, when your father transitioned that, you messaged some of your Abraham friends right
Right.
away, and the song
Right.
that came was "Happy."
Happy and
Happy.
save your tears for another day.
Yeah,
And then we
and
can,
and
yeah, yeah.
so the summary, if I could succinctly summarize the YouTube video, was exactly that we have an entire non-physical team, whether it's
Yes.
Abraham or Jerry or your dad
Mhm.
or your dog that transitioned, that we literally have this energy at our fingertips and we're squandering it was one of the earlier messages, but the whole video wraps up into tuning, 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 tuning. And when
Right.
we tune ourselves, that's where we create this intimate relationship with inner being. And
Yeah.
that's the point of mastermind too, right? Where Carrie has there we go. I'm working on it. It's like yoga. When you I teach yoga, or I mean, I'm officially instructor. When you teach yoga, you're supposed to mirror the person. So if you say right leg forward, you're supposed to move your left
Right.
leg. I never got a hang of that. So bear with me here. So you have there you go. You have Carrie and you have Carrie's. Oh, do you like my ghost nails too, by the
Oh, those
way?
are beautiful. Nice.
Yeah,
Nice, nice,
happy
nice.
Halloween for
Yeah.
my witch's cauldron. Anyways, you have Carrie and you have Carrie's inner being. Good gosh, today is awful. And then we have Julianne and Julianne's inner being, and then they're all intertwined, right?
And all of
Abraham's
our
here with
non-physical
us.
friends too.
Your dad,
Yeah,
everyone's
yeah,
here, right? And like you said, yet in our daily lives, depending upon who you are, where you live, and what you do, and your path, we tend to kind of just set that aside. And in fact, I've always said for years in my coaching program that we're just a couple of witchy women. And that's why I think it's funny when they show me a picture of
right,
women witches, doing the
right.
cauldron, and that, people were burned at the stake for their witchcraft, right? But yet today it just hit me profoundly that Abraham has never said anything less than, we're non-physical, you're part of the non-physical, and everybody who's transitioned and ever was is part of non-physical. And why wouldn't you tune to that? Why would
Yeah.
you not eat your meals, every conversation? Why would you not constantly tap into that energy at your fingertips?
Well, I think it's more like they talk about focus, right? Because for me, it's when I'm focused, and then the more I focus, then it kind of just happens naturally, like, right? I know one thing I do is I do a stand-up comedy, and before I have a show, I will meditate and I will focus on like comedians who have gone before me. Like I'll focus on them and bring them with me before I have a show or into a show. Not that I do any of their material, but just like who they are is probably
The
part of
A-lister vibes that they offered, right? You're
yes. Yeah.
emulating this A-lister vibe, and we talked a little bit about this last week.
Right, right.
But
Yeah,
that's what the A-lister vibe is. So I messaged Noah last night. I'm like, are you thinking about this A-lister vibe thing? Because it just keeps they just keep getting delivered back to A-lister vibes,
yeah,
A-lister vibes. And last week I was thinking more, it's a vibe, right? Like we were talking about sitting in the front row of events, or
right.
knowing we're going to get called on the A-lister. But last night I received that it's much more than that. It's what you're talking about. An A-lister, a veteran of comedy and being on stage, would do that. They would tune to something more than them, whether it's
Because
Einstein.
they're still interested in
They're
me and all these other
so
comedians.
interested.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I'm just looking back at my notes, and that's exactly what they said, is like, you guys, we could not be any more clear about
yeah,
how interested we are
right,
in
yeah,
you and what you're doing, and the vibration is so strong.
yeah,
Sometimes you shock us when you miss it.
yeah. Well, I actually have another experience. This happened, last summer, and, at this gym where I work out, they have a balance beam or a log that you can, practice your balancing exercises on. And usually in the past, I'm pretty good at it, but this one day, for whatever reason, I couldn't get across without, stepping down a couple times. So I remembered the story that Abraham told. This was might have been on one of the live streams a year ago, whereas Esther had to lift some heavy suitcase into her trunk, and apparently Jerry always did that for her. And so Esther, at least I'm, relaying the story as much as I remember. I'm obviously paraphrasing. Esther said, Jerry, will you help me? And then she was able to easily lift that suitcase into her trunk. So I remembered that. And I said, okay, Jerry, you are a gymnast. So help me walk across this, balance beam. And I was able to go across. Now,
And a circus acrobat, right? Of all
yes,
things.
but I asked Abraham about that, and they answered my question on the live stream, and they said I was wrong. It wasn't Jerry who helped me. It was maybe me focusing on him. I got the strength that I've always had to do it myself. It's like that was kind of a maybe that was a fun thing for me to think of. Oh, Jerry's helping me cross this balance, but
Yes.
it's actually me doing it and remembering,
Yeah.
no, I have the
Yeah.
strength to do this.
The other thing about that too is that they always tell us that words don't teach, experiences do. So
Right.
you remembered something, the words, but it was your experience like they said, that
Yeah,
caused you like, oh, I can do this. I posted in our circle platform the other day that you are not a file cabinet, you're a radio station.
yeah,
So, like in this instance, the girl was studying for an exam and she wanted help taking the exam. And they're like,
right,
you are a radio station. You are not studying to file things away. So
right.
later you go get them, which is kind of analogous to what you're saying is that they're telling us you guys literally have everything you need. You just have to use it. You have to just tune
Right,
in and tap in and
right.
trust and know that you're a fucking A-lister.
Yeah. And I can walk across the balance beam without
Oh,
falling off.
I just got thrill bumps.
Oh, cool.
I just got thrill bumps when I said that. The other, like I said, I took a lot of notes, but it says we are always giving you vivid, clear clues.
Yes,
Always,
I agree. If
always.
if for me, if I'm open to it, and if I'm on the, upper 7, emotional feeling words, right? Up that,
Yes,
yeah,
you have to tune yourself, and
yeah,
that doesn't always mean solely meditation,
right,
but it does include meditation where you quiet your mind with the non-resistant thought, but you have to tune yourself. And they said, oh, Noah did not like this one, but I'm going to share it with you anyways, and it'll be interesting to see what your take is on this. But they said tune yourselves all the time and every moment. So first of all, they were talking about how that when you get in the vortex and you tune yourself, that your vibe is tuned to your inner being. And they said, then you can see, smell, taste, touch, and hear what your inner being sees, smells, right? Your inner
right.
being has this 30,000 view. So when you do tune, like you getting on the stage with your comedy, you are tuned to
Yes, completely.
Amanda Patty talked about the hot air balloon. You've
Yeah,
got this bird's eye view of it. And then
yeah,
they said, when you can be there and do everything with your inner being from their eyes, and on the Abraham Nows, I can't remember if it was one time ago or two time ago, but they're like, see it as your inner being sees it. It's like,
right.
let's call
The
it the inner being game, right?
Yeah,
Like
that,
put yourself in your inner being shoes and
yeah.
see it from there.
Yeah, what I took from that is my inner being is having a relationship with you. My inner being is having a relationship with my family member or my work partner or whatever. And when my inner being has the relationship with these people, it's like I'm not going to be triggered or go down or whatever, that kind of thing.
Right. You
Yeah,
only see them for their goodness. I got a message from one of my
exactly.
Abraham friends in Manchester this morning. Like I
Yeah,
woke up to it. I was like, "Oh, this is so good." And I don't always hear from her, so it's a special treat when I wake up and I was like, "Oh, this is so good." And I was like, I was thinking about her last night. I was
mm,
thinking about her. I was appreciating her. I
mm,
was like, there's so much you could think about in a relationship.
yeah.
And it was so good. And then I messaged her back and I go, you must have picked that up because I was
Ew.
definitely vibing love and
Yeah,
appreciation. And I'm like, I can't think of your face and not smile.
yeah,
Like, I
yeah,
just
yeah,
love her so much. And that
yeah,
is so much bigger than us, isn't it? When we
yeah,
can be in and even just on one topic or one person, and then everything else around us
yeah.
falls into that vibe, right?
I completely agree with you. And when you talk about, your friends you've met through Abraham is some of my very, very best friends who I may not have even seen since, pre-pandemic because they live overseas. Um, like they're Abraham people, and I'll talk to them, and it's like yesterday, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
When I was in Amsterdam for the Scandinavian cruise, two of my friends from the UK came over to visit me, even though they weren't during the cruise, but because we were Abraham friends and we hadn't seen each other since 2019, but it was like yesterday because we had
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
same, like the same values or the same
We're
joy of life.
tuned to the same radio station. We're tuned
Exactly.
in, tapped in, turned on, and
Yeah,
there's never a loss of time. There's never a what are we going to talk about? You just
no,
always pick up on that vibe and off you go. And
yeah,
I think that's why making friends through the events and Abraham Friends is so easy. And
yes,
last week Annie talked about that, right?
yeah,
She's like, "Oh my god, I just sit down and we're instant
yeah.
friends." What would take her, like, I think she said 5 years at home,
And
you
it's
know?
people from all different ages, all walks of life, like, who
Yeah.
I maybe not ever would meet where I live in Vancouver or
Yes.
in my daily
Yes.
life, but
Or someone you would have sat down and made friends with.
yeah,
Like, you're
exactly.
getting to know a whole different kind of person.
Yeah, yeah, I completely agree with you. So that's what, like, I just, yeah, I would say most of my really good friends don't even live in my city anymore, but it doesn't matter. I'm
It doesn't
still
matter.
yeah,
And
yeah, yeah,
isn't that the beauty of this? Look, although this was scheduled, we woke up this morning and instantly
yeah,
around the globe, so we wake up and it's like, I don't, well, it was 5 my time. There's 7 hours difference in London. But it's just this constant stream of
yeah,
well-being, they're saying,
yeah,
but I'm gonna call it love in this instance. So on that note, I'm gonna do a hard shift where in this YouTube they go on to say beyond connecting with your inner being, where you can see, smell, taste, touch, and hear like your inner being. And then obviously feel is the biggest component that they've been talking
right,
about lately, is finding the
right,
feeling of, and that you're allowing this life to flow through you
yeah,
and through this body. So I was talking to Noah today, and it's like this blending, this blended energy of, you don't see your just yourself, it's you and your inner being. And then they
right,
went on to say, you call those people who do this, play with their inner beings, and can connect to infinite intelligence. They're like, you call them masters, freaks, geniuses, and exceptions, or
mhm,
exceptional in a. And Abraham goes on to say, they are not the exception. We want you to receive the normalcy of you living connected. And I
yeah,
think
yeah,
that's kind of what ties us back to the original audio that you and I wanted to chat about. And like they said, they're like, Carrie, we want everything to be leading edge in the now, now, now. And
right,
that's
right,
why
right.
they're playing with us. And we want to live in the now because our inner being is in the now, right?
That's right. Yeah, yeah. No, yeah, that's, so, so, so true. I mean, I love anytime I can have an opportunity for a conversation, things like this, anyone with Abraham, it just brings me to, like, the absolute greatest joy. And, I have a really can I share another really cool story
Yes.
of
Yes, of
connections? And
course.
so these 2 friends who live in the UK, I met them, I think it was 2014 on one of the cruises. And after that, like, I went to the UK and I stayed with them and they took me around different places. And every year I would go visit them. And then my niece, she wanted to move to London. So these 2 women became her sponsors. So my niece moved to London. These 2 women became sort of mummies, well, because she's only 20 years old. She met her partner, they got married, they moved back here to Vancouver, and they just had a baby, like, 3 months ago, and the baby was born the very day, it was, like, July 2nd, that I was in Amsterdam with my 2 friends who I hadn't seen, like, in 6 years. So all that connection, that this had it not been for them or me meeting them, my niece wouldn't have gone to England, she wouldn't have met her partner, she wouldn't have had this baby, and
Isn't that
yeah,
intricate and
yeah,
mind-blowing? Like, I keep saying to my friends, this is mind-blowing, this is
I know,
mind-blowing.
yeah,
But your inner being really does know exactly what you want.
yeah,
Exactly. And
yeah,
your path of least resistance to it.
yeah.
Oh, oh, this is fun. Thank you, thank you,
What did you
thank
get?
you. Okay. This is how it works, you guys. This is what I'm and they said we're just putting an exclamation point on your story, by the way,
Oh,
Julianne. Okay. So I was saying, like, you guys, this is so mind-blowing and weird and I was saying it was intricate, and your inner being always knows where you are on your path, right?
yeah,
And
yeah,
they're always leading you to your path of least resistance. And I used to think that that was the big stuff, but it's not. It's the little stuff like
yeah.
Esther
Oh,
moving her
completely.
jewelry, right?
Yeah,
And so,
completely.
right? So, because I mean, like Esther said, it wasn't that big of a deal that the jewelry got covered
Right,
in coffee, but
right.
the message is that when you live every moment with your inner being,
Yeah,
you are always getting these messages,
yeah,
and like they said, sometimes we're just profoundly struck that you don't get them,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So then I started, after Canadian Cruise, started wrapping my brain about around the intricacy, and maybe that's why I fell in love with your question about Esther. How does she age backwards, so to
Yeah,
speak, as
yeah,
a general. And then so okay, so your inner being is leading you through to what you want, but sometimes there's these baby steps. And then I heard driftwood and I was like,
right. Well, that's what the question that we talked about
that
on
was
the Canadian
your
cruise. I
question
know.
on the Canadian cruise. That's
And you
why I
know
was
what?
like, oh my God, you guys. But I
Yeah,
think about that all the time is
yeah,
that manifestations don't have to be you turn the corner and there's your lover or you won
right.
the lotto. The manifestation or the inspiration, like, hey, I'm going to go, I don't know, maybe I'll put water in my wine glass and carry this down. Is
Exactly.
like, holy shit, you put water in
It's
your wine glass?
those little things.
The evidence, the
Yeah, yeah,
driftwood, the little
yeah.
thing. Do you wanna paraphrase not to put you on the spot, but do you wanna paraphrase your driftwood? Because that was
Oh,
so
okay.
great, by the way.
So, I heard this from an Abraham friend a long time ago, but I was surprised that so basically my question was, um, I'd heard that Abraham said that talked about the concept of driftwood, and then Abraham said, "No, we didn't talk about that, but we agree with it." So then I went on to say, if you're a sailing ship and you're out in the ocean and you can't see land, if all of a sudden you see driftwood, then you know you're closer to land. So the analogy there is if you have a desire, but your desire hasn't manifested, if you see other people who have your desire manifested or have what you're looking for, wanting, then that's
Yeah,
evidence you're
yeah.
closer to attracting that
Or
desire.
even little things
Yeah,
like, "Oh, I woke up," like, this is what you said to me in the green room. You're like, "I knew when I woke up and I saw your song and we shared our things, and then
yeah.
the YouTube," like, you just know when you're knocking on all cylinders, right?
Mhm.
What does Abraham call it when you're just firing, you're on
Tuned
fire,
in,
you're
turned on, tapped in, that kind
yeah,
of thing.
tuned in, tapped in, turned on, but there was
Yeah.
another one that I was thinking too,
This
and
is really
that
interesting. My right eye has been watering. Is that your right eye or your left
this
eye?
is my left eye watering. I know. I'm like, good God, right? Oh, we are
Because
so
I
connected.
get
And
water in
not
my right.
yeah, not just you and I. I don't mean just you and I are so connected. We're all so connected. And that's part of what they're demonstrating
Yeah,
is that we're so
probably.
connected. And when it hit me, I was like, oh, driftwood. That's right. That was Julianne.
Yeah.
Um, and
And you
it's
know
the
what's
little things
interesting?
too, right?
Um,
Like, go ahead. Yeah.
yeah, just the other day, so I live right on the beach. There's been so much driftwood because we just had a storm, a big storm, and I thought, "Oh, driftwood." So
Good things are coming, right? Like driftwood could be a song comes on and makes you happy, or you see something that makes you happy. It's the
yeah,
momentum of feeling good and the momentum of being tuned in, tapped in, turned on. And then it's
right.
also the momentum of consistently being tuned in, tapped in, turned on, where things are happening for you. And now it's becoming your expectation.
Yeah. And
And
also and also, even if you have bits of contrast, like, that's totally okay, you know?
we know though, so I
Yeah,
call that step 5 living, right? Because at
right.
this point, I told you in case I choke, I have to have my water. That's just bad foreshadowing, I think. Oh, you can't make this stuff up. It's
That's right,
surprise
you
and
did say you
delight.
grabbed the water just in case you had to
I
cough
said
or
I better
choke.
go
Well, there
grab my
you go.
water in case I say something stupid and I choke up and I need water. Oh,
Oh my
okay. I
goodness.
want to tell you my silly story that Noah hated. I'm
Okay,
dying to
okay.
get your take. Okay, so we were talking about how let's take Einstein or whomever, and they say you call them masters, freaks, geniuses, exceptional. Oh, and I was talking about the witchy women burned at the
Right, right,
stake, right?
right,
That they are not exceptional, and we want for you to receive the normalcy of you and anyone, everyone living a connected life. That this is the norm, and everybody else is outside of that. And so then I wrote down normalcy of allowing the wholeness of who you are in every moment, every conversation. And then I wrote down in parentheses, don your inner being suit. And I
Oh, I
heard
like that.
I heard like a Halloween
Yeah,
costume.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know
yeah,
how when you get for dressed for Halloween and you're like, "Oh, I'm gonna be a fairy princess." So you put on this
right,
costume and you
right.
embody being a fairy princess or whatever. And I wrote don your inner being suit. And I think Noah had a Silence of the Lambs moment.
I actually really like that, especially talking about fairy princesses, because this would have been a long time ago, maybe my first cruise, 2012. Abraham was talking about, it was a woman who got in the hot seat, and her son was maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, but he had a magic wand. And he was bringing this magic wand to school, and he was being, kids were laughing at him. And Abraham said, "Well, that's perfect if he's got a magic wand." So I actually have a magic wand. I bought one for that cruise
I have
because,
a magic wand. In fact, my friend sent me a birthday card and it has a magic wand on it.
oh,
And I
wow.
messaged her and I go, "Dear God, you know me, don't you?"
Yeah, no, I love
Because
that
what
too.
adult woman would have a magic wand? Just Abrahamers,
What the heck?
just what was it? Freaky, weird, what exceptional. Yeah.
Well, and
Yeah.
also, I mean, on the cruises, like, a lot of people bring their crowns, right? So we wear crowns at dinner.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think, the whole don the inner being suit, in my mind, like I said, it was like a Halloween costume since they've been feeding me a lot of Halloween stuff
yeah.
lately,
Mm,
right? And it's
mm,
always appropriate and it's always based upon timing and there's no coincidence. And I like that princess analogy that just came now. But
yeah,
tying that in, so what I explained to Noah, because like I said, I think Noah had a whole Silence of the Lamb like experience when I said don your inner being suit. I'm like, no, no, no. What I mean is that you're so blended with your
yeah,
inner being,
exactly.
and I think too, as my podcasts get a little bit more real, which I don't know where, like, we first one was with Noah when we were talking about hanging out with Prince, and that's, for a lot of people pretty out there. But I think the don your inner being suit is twofold, where it's you're so blended and that you are hanging and playing with your inner being all the time, every conversation, every moment. And then when you have contrast, like you said, a step one moment, you go, "Oh, I totally am way off track here. This is not how my inner being sees it because I feel like because it feels like shit, right?" And then
Right.
the other nugget that I wanted to say, you helped me find it when you were talking, is that the Cinderella princess fairy costume or whatever, that's putting on your A-list persona.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, 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 yeah. No,
Right? So if you're
definitely.
gonna don your inner being suit,
Yep,
that would be kind of analogous to putting on your A game, to becoming your best self, tuned in, tapped in, turned
definitely.
on, A-lister vibes. We've been talking a lot about that lately, the whole A-lister vibes, which I think is just
Yeah,
what they offered us.
I look at that as me being my best self, me being my best self, as you say, tuned in, turned on, tapped in, and, One thing I just thought of was, because I've got to do this email for work this afternoon, and just even though it's not due until tomorrow, I want to prep it today. And perfect, I've been postponing it, but perfect day to do it after this call because I'm high as a kite right
Right?
now. So it's going to be a
Flying
very lovely,
high.
it's going to be a lovely email, and I'm in the mood to do it. So it's like when if I wasn't in the mood like earlier or in the previous couple days or last week, I don't send an email, like they say, get in the vortex, then call your
Yep.
friend, call your
Yep.
family, do this, do that, or send the email you have to send. Yeah. Yeah.
You said that, not me. The whole calling the family thing, in case my mother's watching, you said that, not me. Just kidding. My mother doesn't watch.
Well, you said something a bit ago about I don't the type of people you want to attract to this podcast. I think you're going to attract who's meant to be attracted to it, right?
Oh, we are, right? It's kind of mind-blowing. I don't know if you saw the post from Anthony last week. Anthony's in London.
Mhm.
And I was driving home after my chat with Annie,
Yeah.
and he sent me the front of the greeting card or whatever that
Okay.
said, "I'm in love with the perfect timing of the universe."
Mm.
And I posted it for all of you guys, and I thought, wow, that's and of course you don't know in the moment that the story is building, that it's driftwood or evidence, right? And so I posted it because I was in love with it. I'm like, this is so good. And Anthony has made several comments about the chats. And again, there's 7, 8 hours difference, right? Like your friends
Right.
in the UK. And
Right.
so it's mind blowing to me how the conversation continues and continues and continues, and it's
Yeah.
so much bigger than us. And like Abraham says, every thought that you ever thought continues to exist.
Yeah.
But what I want to add to that is with master mining, we are all adding to the conversation at all
Mhm.
times, right? So you and I are in the now, the current. And then as people listen to it and they give their thoughts, you and I still get to pick up on all the thoughts that get added to that conversation,
Right.
leading edge conversation. And that is like, and then
Mind
2
blowing.
months later, you're still like the driftwood even. Like
Yeah.
think about when you brought, and it's just like it
Yeah.
really is, it's never lost or gone, is it?
Yeah. Well, and I first heard that concept, it would have been around 2011, 2012, with some friends in Seattle. And, but I was never inspired to ask that question until I was inspired to ask that question, on the Canadian cruise, right?
Right. But like
Yeah.
whatever you want to talk about, whatever you're interested in that you want to play with your inner being, it's always there.
Yes.
And then and if the and there's always others thinking about it. Like last
Mhm.
night, I was thinking about my friend, and I was just thinking we've done 2 cruises this year, and Scotland. I just love her. She's so sassy. She's so
Yeah.
great. Blah blah blah. And you know how one thought joins another and
Yes.
another and another, and
Yeah.
all of a sudden I'm rampage of appreciation on this person, and it was totally random, right? And so was she thinking about me or vice versa? And then she messaged me this morning. Cute little story on that. Esther was talking about driving around San Antonio, Texas area after Jerry had transitioned,
Right.
and Esther was like, "Oh, Jerry, remember that? We used to go to this restaurant. And oh, remember that? We used to do this. And oh, remember that?" And she goes, "Ah, I just love thinking about you." And he goes, "Esther, how do you know I wasn't thinking about you
Exactly.
calling you?" And she was like,
Yeah. I know I've had experiences, so my mother has transitioned too, and whenever I open up a new jar of peanut butter, this is so
"You guys,
silly.
I'm gonna remember this."
Um, I always stir the oil, right? You stir the oil, so when you put it in the fridge, it's not, all clumpy. But my mother never would. So whenever I open and I eat peanut butter every day. So whenever I open up a new jar of peanut butter, it's like, okay, my mom's thinking about me, right?
That is so great. Oh my God, that's so great. I love it. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
and
it's
fun
just
fact,
it's
my mother transitioned on the same date as Jerry, but 2 years
oh,
apart, November 8th. I know, so
yeah.
whenever it's November
Yeah.
18th,
It's
it's like I'm
never it's never nothing, right? It's
No.
whatever it means to you.
Yeah.
Um, and again, the more I tune and the more I play and the more I just say, screw it, I'm gonna say whatever I'm gonna say. Like
Yeah.
I don't like sit at the family dinner table with my parents and say, hey, I talk to dead people. I mean, I
No,
do
no, no,
try
no, I
and
don't do any of
dial that
that.
in, but on a
Like,
daily basis, and maybe
yeah,
this is where we wrap back into your cruise question with Esther. On a daily basis, I just am trying to tune more step five living in like, and you guys can just think of this crazy lady Carrie donning her in her
yeah,
being
yeah,
suit.
yeah. And what I've noticed over the last couple years is, like, if I'm traveling somewhere alone, or if I'm, going to an event alone, or going for a meal or whatever, lunch, something at work or whatever, I feel, and if I focus on it, I feel like I'm not alone. It's like I have a
You,
good time because I know I'm not alone. I'm with my inner being, or I'm
yes.
with, my non-physical friends who would be there with me,
Yes,
you know? Yeah,
yes, to the point where I'm almost the crazy lady walking down the street talking to myself,
yeah,
and for the
yeah.
most part, I don't care, but absolutely, and when you and this goes back to our A-lister vibes and you going on comedy stage, you're like, "I'm not going out there alone. I'm gathering all the people who are here and ready and
Yeah,
willing and wanna go play with me."
yeah. And
It's
Abraham has told me, because I did at one year ask a question about being on stage, and they said, um, as long as you're having a good time, it's not about what your audience thinks about you. It's nothing about that. It's like, am I, Julianne, having fun? And if I'm having fun, that's all that
Yeah.
matters.
Yeah, and don't
I
you find that when you're with your friends and family too, and you're just totally on fire? My niece
Yes.
is 15 and I'm teaching her how to meditate and how to be connected and recognizing things,
Mm,
like the evidence and the driftwood and whatnot. And she and I did a 13-hour road trip and we were like laughing in
mm,
stitches, like you cannot make this shit up. And then
yeah,
she'll just say the damnedest thing, like really brilliant,
yeah,
funny, tuned in, tapped in things. And I'll look at her and I'll go, Elise, that's it.
that's it.
That's tuned in, tapped in. Cause I think
Yeah.
they go to a Catholic school. And so I think that I try and merge the two, right? It's like God has a sense of humor, at
Well,
least.
actually, I
And
grew
this
up
is
Catholic too, so
right. I mean, Canadian. But, and so I'm trying to, A, emulate that, as they say, and
yeah.
B, we talk about it, but gosh, when we're on a roll, we're
Mhm.
on a roll, and it's not for the benefit of somebody else, right? You're
Yeah,
like, I just gotta say this," like, and then you say it, and you're like, "Where did that come from?"
yeah,
Right?
yeah,
And
yeah.
I could only imagine being tuned in, tapped in on a real comedy stage. You must just
I
let
have
her rip.
like, I feel I have the best time of my life. I feel like I'm so authentic, I'm so real,
Can
and
you feel source energy flowing
I
through you
sometimes
like
I
you've
do,
donned?
yeah, yeah, like, I truly do, and it was interesting, the last time I did a show, which is, this summer, it was we were doing like a script thing where we did, the Saturday Night Live where they do the news and they read
Mhm.
those little snippets from the news and then they put in a joke. And then they also have guests on. So we were supposed to pretend we're like Saturday Night Live reading our news, but the light at the stage wasn't working well. So I couldn't see my script. And I hadn't practiced that much, but I knew it well enough, and I knew I wasn't alone on stage, that maybe I didn't follow the script completely, but I was able to just, I said, "What the heck? I'm just gonna relax. I'm not alone here." And
It
it
was
worked out
real
fine.
impromptu humor,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
real
Yeah,
impromptu.
yeah,
Oh
yeah,
my gosh. That is so
yeah.
great. I love that. You're right. We are never alone. And it doesn't matter if you're Esther and you've been doing this for 40 years. It's you're still receiving, hey Esther, move your jewelry.
Yeah, and then I also love, remember on the live stream when, the fire alarm happened, and we got to see what happened with her experiencing contrast, and how that turned out like a good experience for her, the contrast. And I
And when
just
they
love
came back too, they spent quite a bit of time
time. Yeah,
explaining why this happened, Esther's human take on it. It was so cool. And
yeah,
like I said, it ties back to your health question on the cruise ship with Esther in that what is a day in the life? I think a lot of us wanted to know, what's a day in the life of Esther look and feel like? And we are getting that. I mean, we get that all the time, whether it's the
yeah,
jewelry or the real-time fire alarm. And she doesn't seem to hold anything back. She's like, so there I was this morning talking to Jerry about how I'm mad about whatever. And Jerry's
right,
like, you can't get there from
right.
there. Suck it
Yeah.
up, buttercup.
I know, I love that "Suck it up, buttercup."
Right? And that's it too, is that is our relationship with our non-physical team should
Yeah.
be like that. So we haven't he hasn't made an appearance yet, but I have a dead ex-boyfriend.
Oh,
And he's kind of that Jerry mentality of suck it up, buttercup. You know
oh,
the
really?
rules. Like law
Oh,
of attraction is not changing for you. And
yeah,
yeah, he's oh my God, he's hysterical. And my grandpa's really funny. And it
yeah,
reminds us to laugh about this stuff too, because there's nothing serious going
exactly.
on here.
Completely. There's absolutely nothing serious going on. And then what I love about with contrast is I often say to myself pretty quick, how is this a benefit to me? And if I can't see it right now, I know eventually I'll get the benefit or I'll
It's driftwood.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Contrast can be driftwood,
That's
right?
true. Yeah, yeah. If you yeah, 'cause then
Because contrast is something happens and we don't understand why in the now, but we know it's going to grow and it's going to be bigger,
yeah,
so therefore
yeah,
it's evidence.
yeah,
Obviously driftwood and evidence being synonymous here in
right.
the scenario. So yeah, in fact something happened to me. Oh, I don't want to share it, it doesn't really matter, but something happened to me and I go, oh, I can see how that happened to move me forward into
Right.
clearly what I do want.
Right. Well, I have had something that I can think of I'll share is, um, I was sort of casually dating this guy. This would have been about 3, 4 years ago, and, I was really into him, and he last minute canceled one of our dates. We were supposed to get together, and I was quite disappointed, so I went for a walk along the beach, and all of a sudden, I felt so fabulous. I'm feeling, "This is so great. I'm so glad he canceled on me. I've got this beautiful sunny day. I'm walking on the beach." And then as soon as I got home, I went on the Abraham Now and I explained this experience, and that was the first time one of my questions on Abraham Now got answered by Abraham, and so that was my beautiful clarity after the contrast is I got on Abraham Now. I think it was about 4 years ago or whatever.
But the fact that you got that feeling, because that feeling of wellness and joy or whatever that yummy feeling is that you had
Yeah,
is so far from not so far from disappointment, but it's moving up the emotional
right,
scale to go from
right.
disappointment to either contentment or even hopeful
Yeah,
is certainly moving. I want to read this from the YouTube video. It just popped
sure.
up while you were talking, and it says, we want you to know when you practice this being inner being relationship, you have more access to what you as humans would call insight. When you're
Yeah.
thinking of the beast of your planets, you call it instinct.
Oh, yeah, that's cool. Insight and instinct.
That's
Ooh,
juicy.
yeah, it
And
is.
it speaks to how society, and I know we have different cultures that see things differently, but we'll
Yeah,
just call it society for the sake of the globe, right?
right,
When we call it insight, again, society is okay with insight. Society is okay with artist or athlete phenom. They're okay with Einstein. They're okay with certain things, and they're okay with a lot more today than they ever have been.
right.
um, but to say somebody has instinct, maybe, maybe
I'm gonna
pilots
s
have
I'm gonna use that
instincts,
for myself now instead of
right?
following my
But you
ins
use the word psychic or medium, or I talk to dead people. Whoa.
I'm gonna use instinct. I'm gonna say I have instinct versus my intuition,
Right?
following
But
my
and
instinct.
interestingly too, as more people transition and more people go searching for their inner being, more
Yeah,
and more people are getting on board with, like you said, I walked out of the hospital and my dad sent me that song,
yeah,
Happy and No More Tears.
yeah,
So
yeah.
more and more people are kind of starting to wrap their brains around it. And maybe you guys that are listening are kind of feeling what I'm putting down here is that maybe
Well,
we
I
are
think
weird.
if
Yeah,
you
go
look
ahead.
like the number I like when Abraham started the live stream just when COVID started like 5 years ago, 5.5 years ago. I mean, it's just opened up the audience for that. And if you think of all these other types of spiritual leaders and how during that time of contrast, now they're all doing everything online or on Zoom. So everyone has an opportunity from all over the world, right? To
Yeah, and I think too, as people go through different life experiences, where whether it's they lost a loved one, and Abraham says that all the time. We delight when you lose a loved one because they're not lost and you go looking for them and then you
right,
find us and you right.
right.
So they delight in that. So I think there's that. And I think societies cultures we're getting more accepting about lots and lots of things
Yeah,
that we wouldn't have been acceptable like
yeah,
40 years ago when Jerry and Esther started this work. Esther well, and to this day doesn't like the word medium or
right,
psychic.
right.
And I was thinking about that this morning too, is that I thought it is always my intention to point people towards their relationship with their inner being. And that's one of the reasons why I like the mastermind, right? Where the four of
Right.
us can get together. And I'm always pointing them towards teaching them how to fish themselves in their relationship with their inner being. Whereas historically, a psychic, and I'm not categorizing here, but was like you go to someone and they have the crystal ball and they'll talk to dead people for you. And so I guess maybe that's why I get so invigorated when I see these videos that are like, "Hey, you are the norm, accept the
Yeah,
norm, embrace the
yeah,
norm, don your inner being suit, fly your freak flag or whatever it is, but we're telling you insight and instinct is here. You have energy at your fingertips. Why
mhm.
why would you not tune into that?"
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. No, I think that's yeah, we're on the leading edge right now, right?
We are on the leading edge. Some of my last notes from the video, it says, train yourself to the subtlety of vibration to translate it consciously through your understanding of emotion. So, like you said, when you have a step five moment or
Yeah,
contrast and you start to feel anything less than seven, you go, oh, that doesn't feel good. And you go, oh, yeah, that's not how my inner being feels about it. Right.
right. Yeah, just having
Um,
my inner being having a relationship with everything or everyone.
And it says you're preparing yourself vibrationally so you don't miss any of the clues because they are there all day
And
long.
if you
And
miss them, so what? It'll be around the next day or the
yes,
next
they
time. Like
totally will. But it
the
is fun
bus
to wake
comes.
up, isn't it? And go, oh, 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 yeah, all right. Oh, okay. Oh, and then this happened, and then that happened, and then this happened. And then, and then you
Yeah,
see how throughout your day, your morning pre-paved the way for the rest of your day. It's like you might as well pick an amazing point of attraction or mood right away in the
right,
morning.
right.
And because then you're off and running.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
And but I also like if you miss it, like I don't know where this comes from, but it just came to me. A bus comes along every 15 minutes. Like you get on the next bus or the
yes.
next ship, right? It just
Yes,
flows with that.
yes, and that you're in charge. A long time ago, I don't know where I picked it up, but they gave this visual of you're a queen and you're in your throne and you're sitting at the end of the dock and the people are just bringing ships by, holding up things and going, "Yeah?"
Yeah,
And you're
yeah,
like, "Yes," or
yeah,
"No." And if it's a
right.
no, it goes away. Yeah? It's just this continual offering. So whatever, queen, king, whatever it is, but you're sitting at the end of this dock and people are just bringing through things going, "Do you like? Do you not like? Do you like? Do you
Mm,
not like?"
mm.
And you're just like, "Yes, no," you're sifting and sorting, right?
Yeah, that sifting and sorting process,
Yeah,
yeah.
and like you said, it doesn't matter if you miss a clue. It does not matter at all. Your inner being is
Oh.
always routing you. So I like to talk about the maze. Like if you had a
Mm,
square, right? That's not a very good square. And there's a maze, right? And so
mm.
let's say you make and you're here at, gosh, you guys, I apologize. I'll work on my yogaing here. You're at the beginning, and then the answer, the solution is down here. Your inner being is always walking you through that maze, and it
Yeah,
doesn't matter if you went left because you just backtrack and then you go right. And then the whole point of a maze is that you make some wrong, and it's not wrong, it's just
no,
not wanted, right? So
right,
you
right.
just you keep going, and there's evidence along the way
Yeah, yeah,
to
yeah.
help you through that maze.
Yeah, yeah, the driftwood, right?
Yeah, the driftwood and all is well. And
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
No,
think
I love
there's
that.
one more juicy nugget that I wanted to share with
Well,
you.
one thing I was just thinking about is, recently I've realized that I don't need to focus really hard on what I want because it's totally I don't even need to focus at all because it's already done, right?
No, it's like this glass
Yeah,
here. You didn't do anything. You didn't wake up thinking, okay, inner being, give me something really fun and undeniable. And you know
yeah.
what I mean? And I think that's the fun of it too, is once you get really good at this tuning stuff, you just
Mm,
keep, like I said, I just keep going, holy shit. Oh my God. Whoa. Oh my gosh. Mind blowing. Oh my gosh. And it's just like it's coming so fast.
yeah,
Noah
yeah.
Noah told me that he wants to get off my merry-go-round. I'm spinning it too fast today.
Ah.
I
Well,
go,
then there'll be
"Okay,
someone
Noah."
who can balance easily on your fast merry-go-round.
No, it's just like, that was a lot, Carrie, that was a lot. I just need a moment to process here. I go, "I'm spinning the merry-go-round too fast," and he's like,
Yeah,
"Yeah." And I'm
yeah.
like, "Okay, well, we'll talk tomorrow," and he's like, "Or later."
Um,
Noah's really good at sending me bat signals, but,
yeah, yeah,
yeah, it's just you
great.
don't have to do anything, do you, except for get in the flow of well-being.
Actually, that reminds me, once I was with 2 Abraham friends, and we were in a park, and we did go on one of those merry-go-round things. So
Hey,
I
oh my
love
god, what did we do in Boston, you and I?
well, we walked to the park. Oh, yeah, that's right, we saw the merry-go-round. Yeah, 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 I remember that.
See,
That's so beautiful.
you
Yeah, that
can't
was
make this shit up, can
I know,
you?
that's right, I forgot about that. Oh, and my
Yeah, the
friends
very
from the
first day
UK.
we met, we
Yeah,
went walking in the park and they had one
yeah,
of
there
those
was a
other
merry-go-round.
merry-go-rounds, not the one you spin, but the one with the horses and the animals
Horses,
and stuff.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so cool. Oh,
Oh, this is so good.
yeah, lovely
And
conversation.
again, it just keeps going and going. Each time
Yeah,
somebody watches this, there's going to be more. And
yeah,
then they lend their thought to the conversation, and
right.
that bolsters and more and more and more. And it
Yeah,
truly is leading edge.
yeah,
But all
yeah,
signs point to the simplicity of our non physical team is always talking to us, always calling us,
yeah.
a and always kinda jealous lover in that it's like, "I just want all your attention, and if
Yeah,
you just give me
exactly.
all your attention, I'll
I
give
know.
you everything you want."
So we should
Right?
dress up for Halloween as our inner beings.
What am I gonna do, wear a skin suit? Si
Oh my god.
Silence of the
So I
Lambs.
think it's so fascinating that both our eyes are watering, all
I
called.
know.
Like, I think that's a
I
message.
mean, I don't even know what's going on. Yeah,
It's
but
gotta be I think it's
tears of
joy
joy, tears of
joy tears.
comedy, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh
I think so.
gosh, this is so good. And it,
Yeah,
like you said, it just feels good to
yeah,
have high vibe chats with people. It
I
feels
agree.
good to do the Abraham nows and you get done, you're like, I am flying high. I
Oh, and you
just
know what I did
feel,
the other day? I used to get all of the, like, recordings for the hotel workshops, and then so
uh-huh.
I decided to get all those too. So now I'm on the glutton program, so I get all the
Oh my
recordings from the
gosh.
hotel. I watch all the
Yeah.
AJs. minutes, and then as many.
Yeah, I mean, I geek out and I take notes and
Yeah.
if something juicy comes up, I stop it, I think on it and I
Mhm.
marinate it. And a lot of times I'll like go for a walk and put some music on because
Right,
I like hearing it. So I see ourselves as students of Abraham, right? And then our inner being is, constantly also feeding us that same information, right?
right.
So I think of my Abraham stuff as play and studying, and
Yeah,
then I gotta give myself time to think, my inner being to come in and interject what I
right,
heard, right?
right, right. What I
Um,
find I do is, I'll spend, like, the 2 hours if I can watch it live, if not, I'll just focus on it, but then I'll re-listen while I'm doing housework or cooking, and, yeah, like, because I remember they said on the last one, live stream, or the one before that, the Abraham Now, something about you'll listen, you'll get a concept, you'll bring it into your life, and then you'll forget about it. And actually, I have a question is if you forget about it, does that mean it's already incorporated in you or you're going to move on to the next level or something like that?
yeah, I think it probably depends upon the question and the topic, but I agree with you. So oddly, I just barely started Canadian cruise content, the recording, and I
It's really
am
good. I've listened to the whole thing
uh
again. It's
I
so
mean, I
high.
am stuck on just the opening, just the first
Yeah.
segment because
Yeah.
it's so good. It's so good. I'm gonna do a podcast on it. It talks
Yeah.
about vibrational existence and kind of again the nuts and bolts of we are so much more than we're letting ourselves be. And when we can fully don that inner
Yeah.
being suits and
Yeah.
our A-lister mentality of I'm not alone, I've got this,
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
we become, dangerous as they say.
Yeah.
And that's the only place I want to play is
Yeah.
fun and frisky
I
and when
completely agree
contrast
with
comes
you.
up, I just look it right in the eye and go, okay, this is my perception or my opinion,
Right.
not my
Exactly.
intention. And it'll sort itself. I had something come up earlier and I'm like, why am I worried about that? Number one, worry slows down the momentum. And number
Right.
two, there's literally nothing for me to worry about. It'll get sorted,
Exactly. Yeah,
right?
because worry can create what you don't want. That's
It
what they say.
stops it. It
Yeah.
totally stops the momentum of it. Oh my gosh. I could talk to you for 2 more hours,
I
just
know.
for the
Me
record.
too. Thank you
So
so
let's do
much.
it
It's been
again.
lovely.
We'll
I'll do
do it
another
again
one.
sometime. And like you said, it's just you just pick up wherever the conversation is,
Right.
and the conversation is in your heart.
Yeah,
Like
definitely.
as we were both thinking about this,
Yeah.
and other people are thinking about it too. And by the way, thank you everybody for the lovely notes that you send. I woke up to another delightful one from my friend in Amsterdam, Marianne. I want to give a shout out to you. She said last week's in Aspen was really delightful. So thank you, you guys, for your comments and your not just your tuning in, haha, pardon the pun. That was my
Mm.
inner being. um just adding your thought to the thought stream, because that's
Mhm.
really what my vision was, is that I have all these cool friends and I want to eat, sleep, and breathe this and always have these
Right,
conversations.
right.
So
Yeah,
I love it when people listen or add their thoughts, and I can feel the thoughts too.
yes,
Anthony and Noah and I have had some crazy like, wait, did you think that or did I think that? And
right,
we're not
right.
even talking in real time, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
this
That's so
is
sweet.
this is a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm
Co-creation
glad
has
thank you for including me, and I'm really glad you started this up. I see it as being something really larger and growing, definitely.
Yeah, I mean it's whatever we want it to be, right? Like I certainly want to eat, sleep, and breathe this, and this
Mm,
helps me stay connection and be live my authentic life with my inner being and be
right,
quirky and put it out there.
right.
But you guys are so delicious. Like you said, you meet someone on an Abraham thing and you're just like, have we known each other forever? Because you're amazing. I just want to lick your face.
Yeah, I think we have.
Right? Oh my gosh.
Thank
Well,
you.
we will
Huge
we will chat with
appreciation
you
from you.
again.
All
Oh,
your
right back
Canadian
at you.
non-physical relatives and friends are looking down and
Oh my
appreciating you.
gosh. My Nana would like to say hello.
Aw,
And oh, Oh, I'm gonna cry.
Aw.
Their
Oh.
love,
Mm.
Jerry, Abraham, non-physical, their
Mhm.
love for us is so,
Mhm.
so great.
Mm.
And not a coincidence, as we said, that it's Canadian Thanksgiving, but it's every day
Yeah.
is Thanksgiving. Like Jerry says, every
Yes.
day is your birthday.
Yes.
And like your dad and your mom,
Yeah.
we're just always here, and it's our greatest joy that you guys want to play with us. I think I'm
Yeah,
thinking
yeah.
like a couple of grandparents, like when grandparents have grandkids
Oh, and
that actually wanna.
I just got a hit from, a friend of mine from about 10 years ago. He was an amazing skier, and he had an accident on the mountain, and he didn't recover from it, and I just got a hit that he goes, "You're gonna go skiing in Park City with Carrie,
Hell
or
yes,
you come
come
up to
on
Whistler."
out. Oh my gosh. Like I said, you just can't make this up and it's
I
so
know,
much fun.
but I
And
haven't
why
thought of it
wouldn't
for
we
a long
want
time.
to do this every day, right?
Yeah.
And to and like our WhatsApp group where you can just wake up and share and
Mm,
play and
mm.
I know like you said we all go through our things where we're having step 1 moments or months, but it's
Yeah,
really nice to know that you have this community of people
yeah,
who get it, and there's just like you said, there's no time loss, there's no judgment, you just dive right into this
yeah.
stream of well-being.
And also, I think the more you kind of focus on this type of work or do this or, practice in this area, all the other people become wonderful too. Like, even if they're not into
Yep.
our community, right? Like,
Yep.
I
We
appreciate
begin seeing them like
Yeah,
our inner being does,
yeah,
right? And
yeah, yeah, yeah,
it's just not a thing, and you just
yeah,
nothing, there's literally nothing to worry about.
exactly.
Oh, just
Okay.
fun and frolicking.
Thank
Thank
you. I
you.
gotta get
Thank
cooking.
you. Thank you. Oh
Bye.
my gosh, so much fun.
Yeah.
Mwah.
Love
Love you
you.
guys.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.